For our individual liberty, yours and mine. For the right to live and plan our own lives the way we want to. Or do you desire regimentation and restrictions to continue after the war?
How was it?
Not so hot. To go up north, construction job.
Your wife won't like that.
Thank goodness when this war's all over, a man can pick his own job and who he works for. No, old man. If you give the federal government these added powers, you'll give it the right to dictate where you work, even after the war.
Look, darling, that's the very home that would suit us.
Yes. Yes, that's the very thing. We'll start building as soon as the war's over.
Yes.
Hold on, young man. You're planning too fast. Unless you vote no at the referendum, you may have to take what the government thinks suitable. And then, only if some official thinks you should have it.
How's things, Joe?
Oh, all right. If it wasn't for so many darn government boards and officials.
Oh, well, Joe, after the war's over, a man will be his own boss again. No more boards and useless forms to fill in.
Aren't you over-optimistic, Farmer? If you give the government added powers, boards and bureaucratic departments will continue, and you'll still be told what to do. And then there's our fighting men. The government already has ample powers for rehabilitation of servicemen. The Australian Soldiers Repatriation Act, the War Gratuity Act, the War Service Homes Act, and the Commonwealth Public Service Act, all of which provide for pensions, gratuities, re-employment, and vocational training and housing. Vote against post-war regimentation. Vote against post-war bureaucracy. Vote for personal liberty. Vote no.
Here's the Honourable R.G. Menzies declaring in 1942 that post-war powers for the Commonwealth are essential. Here's the same R.G. Menzies in 1944 declaring that the powers are not necessary. Here's the Honourable Arthur Fadden in 1942 emphasising that the post-war powers of the Commonwealth are quite inadequate. Here he is 2 years later, like Dunstan and Playford, completely contradicting himself. Why have they switched? The explanation is simple but sinister. And no sooner had Menzies and Fadden demanded that the Commonwealth should have post-war powers to check profiteering and to control combines and monopolies than the big vested interests cracked the whip. Menzies and Fadden promptly somersaulted. Today they ask you to vote against national powers to rehabilitate our fighting men. They say that it's quite sufficient merely to repatriate them. Pensions are enough, they say. For jobs, they can look after themselves. Today they ask you to leave it to the combines and monopolies to see that there's no repetition of doles and depression. Well, we know how that works out. Remember the last time? Today they ask the farmer to abandon the system of guaranteed prices and markets which has brought him security and go back to the old precarious days of no stability. Tell you you'll sacrifice your liberties and freedom if you vote yes. They offer you pictures of iron and the hangman's noose. Our answer to them is this. There are no shackles more cruel than the shackles of unemployment and poverty. There's no noose more deadly than that which throttles the average man and woman when inflation smashes savings, diminishes earnings, and kills all hope. The only freedom worth having is freedom from the tyranny of profiteers, freedom to live prosperously in a land where the rights of the people count more than the greed of a grasping few. Give your Parliament the powers. Vote yes for Australia.